Imagine riding a horse and you fall off. That would really suck. It's very important to be sure that the horse is properly saddled and prepared to go so that you and the horse stay safe and have a good time. Today I'm going to give a step-by-step demonstration on how to properly prepare and saddle a horse to be ridden. Saddling a horse is extremely important because it ensures the horse's comfort and performance while also ensuring that both the horse and the rider are safe from injury. I'll be demonstrating how to prepare the horse before saddling, position the saddle and pad, secure the saddle, and put on the bridle to begin riding. Before you begin, you need to gather all of the necessary items. The items that you'll need are a brush or a curry comb, a saddle pad, and a bridle. You need to make sure that all of the equipment is in an easy-to-reach place, which will make the process smooth. The next step is to approach and prepare the horse. You always need to approach the horse from the left side, as it's the standard side that a horse is saddled from. So I'm on the left side of the horse. And then begin to brush away any dirt or sweat lines from the horse, and if this is done well, the horse will be most comfortable. The next step is to place the saddle pad. The saddle pad goes on the horse's back to protect its skin and help distribute the weight of the saddle. So it has a hole in the top of it right here, and this goes down their spine, and the hole goes towards their head. So I always put it right in the middle of their back and make the hole sit right over the top of their withers. And then it should just be sitting level with their back. The fourth step is to position the saddle. As you go to put the saddle on, you need to make sure that the saddle sits right on top of the saddle pad and that the holes of both the saddle and the pad match up. So you start on the left side, and I like to put the horn of the saddle right in my left hand, and then the back of the saddle in my right hand, and I kind of use my knee to hoist it up there. And so I'll just kind of throw it.
It should look like this before you undo any of the cinches or breast collars. This is what it should look like from the top, where the holes are matched up together. And from the side, there's an even amount of space on this side as there is on this side.
The fifth step is to tighten the cinches in the breast collar. The cinch and the breast collar are what hold the saddle in place on the horse while you ride so it doesn't slide back.
This is your front cinch, and this is your back cinch, and then this is the breast collar. So to do the cinch, the first step is you need to go on the other side of the horse to this side, which is where part of the cinch is. So I just let it down from here. And once again, this is your front cinch and this is your back cinch. And then we'll come back to the other side. And I always like to throw my stirrup up to the saddle horn just to make it easier so that there's not as many things in the way. And then I will undo the latigo and bring the cinch around. And you want the middle of the cinch to sit right on their chest, and it needs to be in the middle of their chest. So when I pull this around, it's sitting right in the middle, and when I tighten it, it'll be right in the middle.
To get the cinch started, you need to bring this underneath them, like I said, in the middle of their stomach, and take your latigo and string the latigo through the first opening on the cinch. Then it should be together with this. And then you're going to flip the latigo around again and bring it back through where it is held onto the saddle. You're going to bring it back through that and then put it back through the same first hole that you did the first time. And then just do the same thing, but when you bring it down this time, put it down on the second one where the clip is. And then once you put it on there, you can pull the cinch tight. And I always like to pull it just tight enough that if she shakes, it's not going to shake it off, but it's not like cutting her circulation off or tight enough for me to ride yet. Then I go to my back cinch, and I just do the same thing. I bring the back cinch up, and since this is a much shorter piece, I just string it through here and clip it into place. The back cinch doesn't need to be as tight as your front cinch. It just needs to be tight enough that there's something holding the back of the saddle down. And I have a rubber band to help hold it in place, so I'll just put it back through there. And I always give her a pat on the belly to know that she's doing a good job. So then, once I'm done with the two cinches, I'll take the stirrup down, and I'll do my breast collar. So the breast collar, since it starts on this side, and it comes around her chest, or since the name is breast collar, it goes in between her breasts. It's pretty long, and it lays over the saddle when you put it away. So when you start out with it on this side, I always like to just put my arm underneath her neck and throw it over to the side and grab it with my other arm. And then this side is the side that you'll clip up here. But I always like to step underneath and just make sure that there's no twists or turns, just so that she can be extra comfortable.
Then to secure it, you put it through this hole right here and make sure that it's sitting nicely across her chest. And so that it's sitting nicely across her chest. From here, I'm just gonna string it through the buckle and clip it into the top hole. And pull it back through so that it's nice and secure and nothing's gonna come off. The next step is this piece that hangs down is the actual breast part of the breast collar is gonna go through her legs and to the other side, and it's gonna clip into this little ring here.
Like I said, the purpose of the cinches and the breast collar is so that the saddle won't slide back. As you can see, this will stop it from sliding back. This is to stop it from sliding side to side, and this is mainly just to help the back of the saddle stay down while you're riding, and to provide some extra assistance if the saddle's gonna slide forward or backwards. The next step is to tighten the cinch so that it's ready to ride. I usually like to do this before I put her bridle on just because she's tied up and can't get away if she doesn't like something, and it's just easier to do it if I'm not holding her while I'm doing it. So, same way that you rigged it up, you're just gonna pull it all the way until it's tight. And I usually like to take my fingers and just see how much space and just how tight it is once I do it. And usually when there's like enough pressure that I can't just slide my fingers out with ease, but not so much that they're just stuck in there, that's when I know it's right about good. And so I'll find the closest hole to that point and then make sure that it's tight and secure. And then I just take the end of the latigo and put it through this little slot up here, which is what holds it. And that's what it should look like when she's all saddled up and ready to go. The last step is to put on the bridle. So the bridle, whether it's a hackamore or with a bit, is so that you can control the horse while you ride it. So this is hers. This is a hackamore, which just means that it doesn't have a bit, and it's kind of just like riding in a halter. But basically this piece goes over her nose, and then this is called, these two are both kind of the curb chain, which is just kind of an extra pull on their chin. And then this is the rein, and this is what goes around her head, and this goes over her right ear. So this is how I put on the bridle. I usually untie her just so that it just gets rid of any risk for like an accident or something. And then I will take her halter off. It's usually not her favorite part. And once I get it off of her nose, I'll just string it around her neck, so it's still there, and clip it around her neck. And then I kind of put my arm underneath her head just to kind of help hold it up. And then I take my bridle in my left hand and I drop the reins so I just have the bridle. And I'll start by kind of spreading my hands between it and putting it on her nose. And then I pull the curb chain back so that it will fit around her mouth and over her nose. And then I just make sure that everything is on the right side. And then I take my right hand and kind of put it between her ears and grab the bridle. And then I'll pull her hair forward to make her look nice. And then I'll just pull her ears through and make sure that her right ear is through the hole where her right ear goes. Then I'll grab her rein and take the halter off of her neck and move it over there. And this is what it will look like once it's done. So there you have it. I've successfully demonstrated how to properly prepare a horse to be ridden. I've shown how to properly groom a horse before riding, how to put on and adjust a saddle pad, adjust a saddle, cinch and breast collar, and how to put on a bridle. I hope that this information is useful to you and that you may save yourself from a future accident. Always remember to tie your horse on a short lead so they cannot stomp on or bite you like mine do, or like she's trying to do right now. And keep in mind that with all livestock, safety is your #1 friend. Take it from someone who's experienced the painful parts of owning livestock.